small wooden house. Inside, a little baby cried loudly. His name was David. But that night, something happened that would change his life forever. David's mother, Anita, stood by the door with a bag in her hands. She looked at her baby one last time, tears in her eyes. "I'm sorry, David," she whispered, "but I can't stay here. I have to follow my dreams." Her dream was a rich, handsome millionaire named Mr. Kelvin. He promised her a big house, expensive clothes, and a life with no worries. Anita believed him. She left David with an old neighbor and drove away in Mr. Kelvin's shiny black car. At first, life with the millionaire was like a dream. She wore diamond necklace, ate food she could not even pronounce, and traveled to places she had only seen on television. But after some time, things started to change. Mr. Kelvin was not as kind as before. He shouted at her. He told her she was nothing without him. Sometimes he would leave her alone in the big house for days. Anita's smile slowly disappeared. Meanwhile, little David grew up without his mother. Life was not easy. He wore torn clothes and sometimes went to bed hungry. But David was smart. He worked hard in school, helped people in the community, and never gave up. Years passed, and David became a man, not just any man. He became one of the most respected and successful people in the city. People knew his name, and one day, something that would bring Anita and David face to face again, but in a way she never expected. That afternoon, Anita sat in her room, staring out of the window. Her once beautiful face now looked tired. The diamonds were gone, the fancy clothes were old. Mr. Kelvin lost most of his money in a bad investment deal, and when the money was gone, so was his love. One rainy evening, he told her, "Anita, I can't take care of you anymore. Pack your things and leave." She had nowhere to go. Her friends from the rich life ignored her calls. She had no family, except for one person she had not seen in years, David. Anita had beats fast. What if he hates me? She thought, but she had no choice. She asked around and found out where he lived. When she reached the tall glass building with David Michaels written in gold letters, she froze. It couldn't be. Could her little boy really be the owner of this big company? She slowly walked into the building. The guards looked at her, unsure if she belonged there. "Uh, I am here to see David," she said softly. A few minutes later, the door to a big office opened. A tall young man in a sharp suit stood there. His eyes were serious but kind. "Can I help you, madam?" he asked. Anita's lips shook. "David, it's me, your mother." The room went silent. David looked at her for a long moment. He could remember the night he cried as a child, wondering why she left. He remembered the hunger, the loneliness, but now here she was standing in front of him. And then something happened that no one in the office could believe. David stood very still, his eyes locked on Anita's face. Everyone in the office was watching. You could hear a pin drop. Finally, he spoke. "I remember you," David said. "You let me when I needed you the most." Anita's eyes filled with tears. I'm sorry, David. I thought I was chasing a better life, but I lost everything. I have nowhere to go. David took a deep breath. Part of him wanted to tell her to leave, to feel the pain he felt for years. But another part remembered something his late grandmother once told him. Son, no matter what happens, never let hate guide your heart. He walked slowly towards Anita. Everyone waited to see what he would do. Then David did something that shocked them all. He opened his arms and hugged her. Anita cried into his chest. I don't deserve your kindness, she whispered. David looked down at her and said, maybe you don't, but I'm not the boy you left behind. I'm a man now, and I choose to forgive. Just then, David's phone rang. He answered, listening for a moment, and his face changed. There is something you need to know, mother, he said. And what he told her next was something that would change both of their lives forever. David hung up the phone and turned to Anita. That was the hospital, he said quietly. They found someone in the street badly injured. It was Mr. Kelvin. Anita's eyes widened. Kelvin? David nodded. He was in a car accident. They say he is asking for you. Anita's hand shook as she followed David to the hospital. She didn't know what to expect. When they entered the room, Kelvin lay on the bed looking weak and pale. For the first time, his voice was soft. Anita, I'm sorry for everything. I treated you badly. I thought money made me powerful, but now I have nothing. Anita's eyes filled with tears. She realized how much life had changed. The man she had chosen over her old child was now broken, while the child she abandoned had become strong. David stepped close. Mr. Kelvin, he said, life gives us chance to make things right. I forgive my mother. Maybe you should forgive yourself too. Kelvin looked at him with surprise, then nodded slowly. As Anita stood between the two men, one from her past, one from her present, she finally understood what true wealth was. It wasn't money, it wasn't fancy houses, it was love, forgiveness, and family. The rain outside stopped. A ray of sunlight shone through the hospital window, lighting Anita's tear-streaked face. She reached for David's hand and held it tight. For the first time in many years, she felt at peace. As they walked out of the hospital together, the world seems new because something